They replay conversations, searching for clarity, hoping that understanding the past might somehow soften the pain of the present. But the mind rarely offers answers. It only offers repetition. Silence becomes louder than arguments ever were. And in that silence, thoughts grow stronger, heavier, harder to escape. Letting go doesn't feel like losing a person. It feels like losing a version of themselves that once believed love would be simple. At night, when distractions fade, the mind becomes restless. Thoughts move freely, unchecked, looping through memories that refuse to stay quiet. Sleep feels close, but never close enough. They begin questioning themselves, not just what went wrong, but who they are. Was I too much? Was I not enough? Did I love wrong? Unspoken emotions pile up quietly, words that were never said, feelings that were never fully expressed, moments that ended before they could begin. Even in familiar places, loneliness appears. Surrounded by people, laughter, movement, yet emotionally disconnected. Watching others experience love easily can feel confusing, even painful. So they learn to hide it. They smile when expected. They respond when spoken to. They appear fine. But internally, their emotional world feels fragile. One reminder is enough to reopen wounds they thought were healing. Social media becomes both temptation and threat, a place where memories resurface without warning, a space where comparison quietly damages self-worth. So they pull back, they protect themselves, they limit exposure, not because they are weak, but because they are tired. Loneliness often turns inward. Thoughts become conversations, memories become companions. They check their phone without realizing why, not expecting a message, just hoping. Hope, even when unrealistic, is difficult to release. Comfort is searched for in familiar places, a favorite song, a quiet room, something that understands without asking questions. Dreams of what could have been still appear, not as fantasies, but as reminders of possibility. And when those dreams fade, disappointment follows quietly. Regret doesn't always scream, it whispers. It asks gentle questions that slowly erode peace. They carry emotional weight with care, afraid that one wrong move might make everything worse. They become cautious, careful, reserved. Watching love work for others can feel unfair, not out of jealousy, but confusion. Why does it seem effortless for some and exhausting for others? Slowly, patterns emerge, not just in relationships, but in emotional responses. The mind begins connecting dots that were once invisible. Trust becomes complicated, not because they don't want it, but because it feels risky. Opening up now carries consequences. Communication feels dangerous. Every message feels loaded. Every response feels vulnerable. Overthinking grows stronger where reassurance is absent. The mind fills gaps with imagined meanings. Eventually, distractions stop working. Temporary escapes lose their power, and silence returns. They begin realizing that emotional pain doesn't mean emotional failure. It means something mattered. Distance from chaos brings clarity. Breathing becomes slower. Thoughts become less urgent. They start understanding that repeated heartbreak often points to unresolved patterns, not personal flaws. Pain becomes information. Writing, reflection, and solitude begin transforming emotion into insight, and for the first time, compassion turns inward. They learn to treat themselves with the same kindness they once reserved for others. Guilt loosens, self-blame weakens. Trust slowly returns, not toward love, but toward their own judgment, toward their own resilience. A softer presence replaces emotional tension. Smiles become genuine again. They recognize that love doesn't require perfection, it requires awareness. Healing becomes more important than speed, and patience replaces desperation. Old emotional habits are questioned. Some are released, others are reshaped. With each step forward, emotional weight lightens. Fear still exists, but it no longer controls decisions. Being alone stops feeling like evidence of failure. Instead, it feels like space. They understand that love ending doesn't mean love was wasted. It means it served a purpose, even if that purpose was growth. Peace slowly replaces urgency. Hope returns carefully, honestly. They no longer rush toward connection. They allow it to arrive naturally. Boundaries form, not as walls, but as protection. Emotional maturity replaces emotional urgency. The future no longer feels empty, it feels open. Self-love becomes foundational, not optional. Old pain stops defining new connections. Strength grows quietly, without announcement. Wisdom begins guiding choices. They move forward without running and without hiding, emotionally complete, emotionally aware. They understand now that failing in love does not mean failing in life. Sometimes it means learning how to love, better, healthier, and more honestly. And even now, traces of the past still appear from time to time. Not as pain, but as quiet reminders of how far they've come. They no longer fight those memories. They let them pass, knowing they no longer control the present. What once felt like emotional weakness is now understood as emotional depth. The ability to feel deeply was never the problem. The problem was never being taught how to protect that depth. They begin to see that love doesn't fail because someone cared too much. It fails when care is given without balance, without boundaries, without self-respect. Slowly, they stop chasing explanations. Not everything needs closure to lose its power. They accept that some people were meant to teach lessons, not stay forever. And that realization brings relief instead of sadness. Their expectations change. They no longer look for someone to complete them. They look for someone who can walk beside them. The heart feels calmer now, not closed, just wiser. They understand that healthy love doesn't feel chaotic.